Welcome to another Tag Team Talent Search podcast, the podcast that focuses on talent from around the world. And here's the guy that's produced live and television entertainment for the last 40 years, and he's going to be the host of the show, for goodness sakes. Here he is, Scott Edwards.
Hey, welcome back to the Tag Team Talent Podcast. We have another great show for you this week, 3 amazing videos, and if you didn't notice, a new co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Comic Magician of the Year just a little while ago.
Yes.
You two are all over the country. You've done tons of TV.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Comic Magician Extraordinaire, Larry Wilson.
Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate you making the extra effort to be here today.
Well, of course.
He was just performing in the Bay Area to sold-out shows, amazing, fantastic fun.
We did actually have amazing, fantastic fun. It was really fun.
Well, what's interesting is you've been in the business quite a while.
Many, many millions of years.
Millions of years. You look amazing.
Thank you. Well, you know, those sheep cell injections are paying off. It does seem like ages. You know?
But you enjoy being on stage. You really connect well with the audiences. We just did a fundraiser together up in Reno where you were boffo entertaining.
Oh, thanks. Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't like doing it, you know. So.
You mean all the millions of dollars isn't enough?
That's just money, you know.
Well, let's jump into some videos. We have 3 terrific videos for you guys this week. Larry's here to help interact with them. Let's jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, our first video is a good friend of mine. He's a stand-up comic, been in the business a long time. In fact, you've seen him before, not only on this podcast, but also on my audio podcast, Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. Mm-hmm. You may know him. Very funny Steve Bruner.
Oh, Bruner, very fun.
Very funny. Let's check out why. Ladies and gentlemen, live on stage, Steve Bruner.
I did a cruise ship not too long ago. It was fun. I sat across from a couple married a fun dinner too. Sat across from a couple married a little over 50 years. Sat right next to a couple married a little over 50 hours. The entire week, the older couple was giving the younger couple marriage advice. It was hilarious. Like the older man said, "Remember, marriage is like paint. It colors your world. Not only that, it's volatile and toxic." Of course, I thought the older woman gave the younger man even better advice. "Young man, there's only 2 things you're ever going to argue about in this marriage. That's money and sex." And he's, "Oh, don't worry, ma'am. She doesn't make me pay." Because I know somebody's about to get married. They say the first year... How many people are married here by applause? Oh, no. All right. They say the first year is the toughest. Married people, you think that's true? We got one hold a couple no's. No people, what year's the toughest then? Last one? That's very funny. All right. It's going to be very, very funny next show, my friend. Let me tell you that right now. Where were you last show? Let me tell you that right now. Not funnier than what I was going to say. And engaged, I guess, if they're about to get married, that's nice. That's what they were talking about. And because I always thought engagement was a lot tougher than the first year, because people lie to guys about the engagement process. My whole life, people were telling me things like, diamonds are forever. Payments are forever. I found out fiance is just one end shy of finance. Actually, looking back, I think men should be put in charge of the wedding ceremony. If guys were in charge of the wedding, every single wedding would be quick. Just short and sweet. Just get in, get out, nobody gets hurt. Guys are interested in one thing, the reception. We are in charge of the ceremony. Every single ceremony would be, "I do, give me a brew." But we're not in charge. How many guys were in charge of their weddings? That's what I thought right there. I've asked that about 350 times. Only one guy has ever applauded, and he was marrying another guy. Somebody had to be in charge.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Steve Bruner live on stage. What a great comedy set.
Well, what a pro.
Yeah, he is. He's clean, he's funny.
Yeah, I mean, squeaky clean, clever, polished. I mean, it's just great.
Well, it was certainly great to showcase Steve again on this podcast, and I know you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. I like to do a lot of variety.
Wait, how do we know they enjoyed it as much as we did?
Well, there'll be a poll.
Oh, I didn't realize.
But do the poll if you're interested. And hey, maybe they have talent. If you're interested in sending in your video, go to our website, www.tagteamtalentsearch.com, tagteamtalentsearch.com. Send us your video and see it here on a future podcast. So lots of opportunities.
Could I send in a video?
Oh, well, trust me, we have something special for you. But first, we're all about variety, and
Yes.
I brought in a terrific comic ventriloquist, a good friend of mine, Andy Gross, out of Los Angeles, California. You know Andy, I think.
I don't know Andy.
Oh, he's been performing all around the world. He is doing private, like one-man shows now.
Oh.
But he's been in the business and used to do the clubs back in the day. Andy Gross not only does a little bit of magic in stand-up comedy, but a terrific ventriloquist. This video he sent in is him doing some practice ventriloquism at home. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy the ventriloquism of Andy
I
Gross.
thought it'd be fun to show you what it looks and sounds like when a ventriloquist throws his voice. You could do that. Do what? You can throw your voice. I can throw my voice. That's cool. I want to see that. Do it now. I'm going to do it in a minute. Come on, do it now. I'm going to do it in a minute. I want to see it now. Give me a minute. No, I want to see it now. Do it now. Throw your voice. Throw your voice. Fine, I'll throw my voice. Good. Good. I want to see that. Okay, good. Hello? Well, that sucked. You know what I'd do if I was a ventriloquist? No, what would you do? I'd go to funerals. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. Hey, come on, let me out. Hey, let me out. Hey, was that you? That was me. That was good. That was like really good. You should have your own TV show. Not. I could throw my voice. I would just mess with people all day long. Make your voice come out of my butt. So right now I want to show you what it looks and sounds like when a ventriloquist throws his voice. To do this, I'm going to actually throw my voice inside this box. If you listen very carefully, you're going to hear a little voice coming from within. Hey, come on, let me out. Hey, come on, help me. Let me out. Let me out of here right now. What are you doing? I'm showing him what it sounds like when I throw my voice. Oh, come on. You're such a show-off. Close the door. No, let me out. Hey, let me out. Let me out of here right now. What are you doing? Well, you're screaming to let you out. No, I'm saying close your door. You okay? I'm okay. Close your door. Hey, let me out. No, let me out. Let me out. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Andy Gross live on stage. That was pretty good stuff, don't you think?
It was great. It was great. And you know, there's a thing that's so interesting here. He's also a really great puppeteer.
Oh, with his ventriloquial figures.
Yeah.
Try to avoid the word dummy.
Well, I don't know if that's appropriate, if you're allowed to say that anymore, but it's so interesting to see, because I've seen sometimes someone who's really good ventriloquist. They can throw their voice, no lip movement, like he was doing great there. But if you can't make that puppet come alive, the illusion doesn't quite work.
Oh, yeah, there would be a disconnection.
Yeah. But he did such a great job. All the movement, it was just really
The
lifelike.
nuances of
Yeah.
ventriloquism are many, and Andy is one of the best. He's still touring today. Keep an eye out for his one-man shows. They're coming around the country, but he sent us this video, and we want to say thanks to Andy Gross, and I think you can find him at andygross.com, but if you just Google his name, I think you'll find him. But I have something extra special to end the show. Part of our classic rewind, where we share videos from back in the day, I found something in the archives you might enjoy.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this video stars Larry Wilson.
Uh-oh. This could end badly.
Yeah, well, let's see. It's a show you did with Dick Clark.
Oh.
And you know what's amazing? Dick Clark was one of those enigmatic characters that never aged. And here we are. This video's got to be from 30 years ago, maybe 35. And you're here as my co-host, and you look younger than you did then.
Well, I better. You know, I have to tell you, it's funny you should mention. I worked with Dick a lot, and he was so nice and such a pro. I mean, his genius, I think, was that he knew his greatest talent was as the host. He never tried to take over the way you see some.
It sounds like Johnny Carson. The secret
yes,
to his success.
Yes.
And you've done the Carson show. So, I mean, you've met both these gentlemen. But to hear that about Dick Clark, it's the first time I've heard that. But I'm not surprised because he had such a long history in show business. There had to be a reason.
There's like no ego at all. And his genius was, he'd find talent, he'd present talent, he'd set stuff up and say, I have this person. And then he would step back and let them shine. And it's interesting because I try to keep that in mind a lot of times.
They had a long history. This is you appearing on his show. Well, let's check out the video, and then I'd love to hear any stories or feedback you might have. Well, if you remember.
Oh, I remember. Believe me, I remember.
Ladies and gentlemen, live with Dick Clark, it's Larry Wilson.
Most magicians go in for the formal look, the dark tuxedos, the serious music, the dramatic theatrical effects. Well, our next performer is almost like that, except he wears a white tuxedo, and he twists his illusions around for some rather strange results that will not only mystify you, you'll have a couple of laughs along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, the master of magical madness, Larry Wilson.
That was Mike Tyson's theme song, She Made Me Mad. But I only agreed to be here tonight because Dick asked me to do something very dangerous. And I told him I would, but only if we have a registered nurse in attendance. Did we get the registered nurse, Dick? Did we get... Oh, fabulous, you're here. How grand. I'm so pleased you brought your doctor's bag. You have everything we need. There are a number of very unusual implements inside. Just exactly what sort of doctor do you work for?
A sex therapist.
Oh?
Well, we specialize in treating TV evangelists.
How did you get that joke?
Oh, behave yourselves, you animals. I suppose that explains this protective device. It's a restraint that's placed around the, no, actually this goes on... This looks like your size. Why don't we just try this on for fit? And perhaps as an added safety precaution, we'll apply this in a judicious manner and fasten it securely like so. There, now tell me, how do you feel? Safe?
Very.
So you see? It looks like we're all set for a little surgical procedure. All we need now is the doctor, Ladies and gentlemen, what we're attempting here is an incredibly dangerous experiment in bloodless surgery, requiring the absolute utmost in delicacy, not to mention razor-sharp precision and the skill and cunning of the professionals. What, do you think I don't know what I'm doing? I sense your trepidation. Trust me, this will not be grisly. But before we go any further, let me find some place for my little nurse here where she'll be out of harm's way. Where can we put you, my darling? We won't be... Oh, I've got an idea. We could put you back here if we absolutely... Oh, I've got an even better idea. How about, for your own protection, if we put you in this tacky-looking magic box? I think you'll be very safe in there. Why don't you take this gentleman's hand? He'll help you up in there. Look at that face. How can you help but trust that face, Now, if you'd be so kind as to introduce one of the chain through the hole in the cabinet there to Lamborghini, he'll apply this surgical device to it and fasten it securely. And having accomplished that, I implore you to do likewise on the other side, where Linguini will do the same. Folks, I should warn you, the show takes twice as long if you repeat everything I say. Now, tell me, my little Florence Nightingale, how do you feel? Comfortable?
Very.
Good. Because what we're about to attempt here is anything but comforting. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all divisions, surely each of you must be familiar with the illusion of sawing a woman in half. Rest assured, we're not about to subject you to any such exhibition of that kind this evening. No, no. Nothing so mundane, so pedestrian, so boring. No. This evening we're going to present something 3 times as exciting as that. 3 times as dangerous as that. 3 times the death-defying mystery. cutting a woman in 6. My assistants are bringing in from offstage 5 specially constructed solid stainless steel blades. These blades have been honed to a razor edge and specially constructed for me by Schick, Center for Weight Control. But before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, watch now as I introduce 30 inches of solid stainless steel into my lovely box. Ladies and gentlemen, the very first blade. Oftentimes it requires more restraint. Bear with me a moment here. The second blade. Give me that, you coward. The second blade.
Oh my God.
The third blade. The fourth blade.
Oh my God.
Any of you people ever have that problem at home? And for those of you who are fans of Sesame Street, it should come as no surprise, this is the fifth blade. Ladies and gentlemen, let me speak with you for a moment in utmost candor. What we've done here is not really that difficult a thing to do. No, no. Hold your cries of declamation. I know what you're thinking. But Larry, this is incredible. It's stupendous. Let me give you this blank check. But no. No, because what we've done here is not difficult, so feat to accomplish as it may appear. Watch as I remove the blades one by one. The fifth blade. The fourth blade.
Strange to see you without a beard.
Very strange.
The third blade. The second blade. Now, oftentimes people come to me and they say, Larry, isn't this a dangerous illusion? And I admit there's an element of danger, but only if you're not careful to keep your thumbs from between the blades when you do this. Watch as I remove the last blade. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure now to introduce to you in one piece the lovely and talented Miss Pastafuzla 1988, Julie McCullough.
Oh, we need a light there, yes. Get a light on Julie's face, for God's sake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Wilson. Larry Wilson. Coming up, first time on primetime television, Tony Orlando and Dawn. First reunion, don't go away.
Oh, that was really good, Larry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know you enjoyed that video because it is not only a classic rewind, it shows you in a whole different stage of your career. And with Dick Clark, amazing.
It was kind of amazing. I'm a little bit freaked out. One, you know, it's so funny. Julie McCullough, who's in that with me, fantastic. And Kent and Alicia, who are my 2 assistants, are fantastic.
You're not bad yourself.
Well, I'm okay, but originally when I first started doing this, you know, I was cultivating, and Dick says it, was so interesting. Dick Clark got it when he said, you think of a magician as all in black and with this kind of spooky sort of...
Mystery, yeah.
Yeah, so the beard and the hair was sort of spoofing that. You notice I'm in white tie and tails, but I have white Stan Smiths on, you know.
Well, it was a really good video,
Well,
and I'm
thank you.
sure the audience enjoyed it. In fact, there will be an opportunity in the comment section to let us know which of these videos were your favorite. But most importantly, we had an amazing guest host. We were able to share his old material in Classic Rewind. There's plenty of his new material in other shows. But we want to thank our co-host, Larry Wilson. Thank you very much for being on the podcast today.
My pleasure.
And thank you for joining us and watching these videos. Be sure to tell your family and friends. We'll be back next week with 3 great videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Tag Team Talent Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss the next big talent reveal. And don't forget to write in the comments below which performer you thought was best in this episode. We love hearing from you. See you soon!